EpicNNG didn't make no video on me, bro. Oh, he did. Let's watch this. Let's watch this. Oh, this is exciting.
Got ourselves a bit of a fighter, eh?
Well, hey, what up, rock stars? It's me. I'm not on Borderlands 3 today because Gearbox have stopped my constant flow of money into my bloodstream, which means I no longer have to say good things about Borderlands 3. No, but seriously, today we are going to be talking about MorninAfterKill, because it's exactly what he wants, and no one else is going to do it, so why don't I just come in here and brief everyone. I want to start by saying that I wasn't planning on making this video because I know that it is exactly what Mac wants. However, it is clear that he is not going to stop.
Are comments turned off? Oh.
And so, because of that, I'm not going to sit by and let someone drag people's names and defame people in this community and try to manipulate, gaslight, and lie to their viewers and then have them...
Bro, do you see this? He tried to hit the Uno card on me. This is literally what Gearbox and 2K has done. Is bought the community and has gaslit and manipulated the community into believing that Borderlands 3 is great and that I was the only one not having fun with this. Let's continue on.
People go and attack said creators. Very frequently, I have heard Mac telling people who claim he is defaming creators to take him to court. And so that's what we're going to do today, because in the court of the public opinion you shall be judged, Mac, as we are going to lay down all of the facts that you have obfuscated numerous times, as you have covered and tried to take down numerous creators for supposedly letting you hang out to dry. Now, again, just...
Thank you, EpicNNG. I would love to see his responses here. Let's go ahead and get into this here.
And just before we get started here, I'm going to make this clear that this is not a drama video, because we don't do drama around here. What this is just simply laying out all of the facts which up until this point have been ignored for obvious reasons, but I am not going to do that. We're going to put it all on show today. So strap in and let's catch you up to date. So, MorninAfterKill was a very...
For the record, those of you guys that were asking me what the peak opener is, that's the peak opener. The effervescent Torg curb blaster that is shock damage as well.
Very prominent creator during the Borderlands 2 days.
That's a very good picture of me that he used. Thank you, EpicNNG. I appreciate that.
As I'm sure some of you are already well aware. However, in early 2020, I believe it was, during Borderlands 3's kinda rocky page, I guess you could say, it was kinda doing good, kinda doing bad. It was
kinda doing good, kinda doing bad. Come on, man. Like, this is the exact shit that I'm talking about, yo. Like, you can't even come out and say it fucking 5 years later that in January 2020, Borderlands 3 was at a very terrible place.
It wasn't like they were bleeding crazy players, but the game definitely needed to move in a better direction. Mac was invited into...
See, this is this bullshit that I'm telling you about. Is like, they sugarcoat everything and they're afraid to give any real criticism.
A private call or meeting with people from 2K and other Borderlands creators who were under...
That is correct. That is 100%. I have played this video multiple times on stream for you guys. In fact, I might actually upload that video to Rumble and maybe put a link into the comment section down below if I upload this live reaction.
An NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, and within this call they were being showed a bunch of future content plans. Now, I'm not going to show all of...
I was not under any NDA in this meeting. Just want to let you guys know the other two creators, Lazy Data and K6, 100% so far is 100% correct. This video. Let's continue.
This because obviously it would get me in a lot of trouble because it is confidential information. However, it is now public knowledge at this point that within that call, they were showcasing things they wanted to do inside of Borderlands 3. And one of them was a system which is very akin to a battle pass. Now, something that's important to know is that Mac was not
Actually, hold on. I think he's about to say it.
under any form of NDA while he...
That is correct. I was not under any form of NDA, and it's disingenuous here by saying a form of a battle pass because the literal fucking the slide they showed us said microtransaction battle pass comes online.
Absolutely should have been. And for whatever reason, he decided to record this entire call and then make a video on his...
It is public and common knowledge that I record everything that I do. Anybody that has ever done any sort of fucking commentary or live stream or any type of content with me knows from the beginning I record every conversation that I have during fucking, the creation of content. And a call with 2K, K6, and Lazy Data all constitutes as fucking as content.
His outrage at what he had learned. Now, shortly after this video went up, obviously news circulated very quickly, and a few things happened. Firstly, what happened is the people who he got this information from, being 2K, very, very quickly had his video taken down. They went over there and took...
That is 100% correct. Everything so far is 100% correct. Let's go, EpicNNG. I like this.
it down. Obviously, being confidential information, it was not allowed to be out there. How they did not sue him, I do not know, but I'm gonna guess it's probably because the 2K representative did not NDA him. This
Once again, I was never under any sort of NDA. When she mentioned the NDA, I laughed. She said, "I'm going to trust you," and I said, "That's on you." I never once said anything about accepting the NDA or gave any assumptions that I would abide by the other people signed NDA. There is no case for them to take me to court on that.
Obviously made a major loophole and allowed Mac to get off scot-free, and I believe shortly after, this person at 2K, who I'm not going to name, they actually were fired. At least.
That's 100% true. She was fired for that. She now works for Ubisoft, if I recall correctly.
My knowledge. Now, as for the other creators in that call, like I told you, they were under NDA and obviously could not confirm or deny these things. Them being showcased in this video in itself was a major risk, but yeah, they couldn't speak out, they couldn't say this is true or this is false, they couldn't say anything because legally they cannot. Their hands are tied. And for those of you who are unaware, this is a very, very common practice, especially when you are working with...
No. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because K6 could have at least confirmed that he was in that call. Alright? He said that that call was not true and none of those slides ever happened. I have proof that he was there in those slides and he hung me out to dry. He didn't have to confirm that there was any fucking, any of the information at all. All he had to do was confirm that that meeting took place. And it would have confirmed all of my information. Don't fucking tell me, yo. You don't have to confirm information without being able to confirm the fact that you were there.
Content creators is to NDA them so this information does not get out like Mac allowed it to. I want to once again make it clear that
it needed to get out. They were literally about to drop a battle pass in the middle of the worst time of Borderlands 3's life cycle in January 2020. It would have killed the game. I had to take a copyright strike to make sure that they didn't fuck up.
The reason no creators came to back up Mac's claims of the Battle Pass being true is because they were under non-disclosure agreements. This means they cannot talk about any of the details shared.
Oh, really? Well, that's actually kind of funny. Because if we go and we look this up, right? Watch this. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Right here. Right? Moxxsy's Bar episode 7. Moxxsy claims to have a source close to the game who confirmed that a new battle pass and microtransaction would be coming to the game. However, if we go and look that up, so tell me why they're all gone, bro. Look, episode 6, episode 8's gone. So I'm not the only one that was talking about the battle pass early. Moxxsy was. But Moxxsy didn't come to fucking back me up. Right here. Moxxsy claims in his fucking podcast that there's a source close to the game confirmed that new battle pass and microtransactions. And I didn't fuck with Moxxsy. So I'm not his source that's close to the game. His source close to the game would still been the same lady. So I'm not the only one that was out here talking about the battle pass. But you're gonna still say that I lied about it?
To them at any point when it involves confidential information. And this is something which, again, Mac has completely obfuscated from every single video he has made. And this is basically where his path of terror began. He felt burned and he felt like he was thrown under the bus by other creators, that he was, again, hung out to dry because they wouldn't break their NDAs for him. And ever since this point, Mac has...
No, bitch! That's not the point! K6 was out there literally calling me a liar on Twitter. He was actually factually calling me a liar on Twitter. Fuck out of here, bro. I'm not asking anybody to confirm anything in an NDA. But don't fucking call me a liar and say that things that I said never happened that actually did. Don't fucking twist this.
Has been running his mouth over and over and over again, claiming that everybody associated with 2K and Gearbox, that being content creators, are paid shills, that they are paid monthly paychecks and they are paid to not say anything negative. Let's push that down. Anything negative about the Borderlands franchise, that they are never allowed to criticize it. Numerous times, Mac has been faced with facts which completely nullify his entire argument, but being the professional gaslighter that he is,
I've still not seen any facts in his video.
He continues to spin it and try to get people on his side so that they can go and attack these content creators, because that is his end goal here, since he was hung out to dry, in his own words.
Not once have I ever sent anybody towards anybody's channel for anything. I've never told anybody to stop watching these motherfuckers. If you go and look in any of my vidges and my comments, my point is not to try to get you to stop watching these people. It's so you know if you can trust their opinion or not when it comes to the Borderlands franchise.
He now wants to get revenge by striking back at all of these content creators. Now, I've got to say, Mac, because I know you'll react,
I didn't strike at any content creators that didn't deserve being striked at. There are plenty of other content creators out there in the community that I didn't attack. But I've only went after the ones that actually have done things in the community that have led us to where we are, with Borderlands being in the worst possible state it could be.
To this video, I wasn't going to make a video on you because, I'm sorry to say, I don't care about you. You are a flash in the pan, a has-been, somebody who refuses to let their past go. You had your time in the community, you blew your trust, and that is it. I don't care about you.
What trust did I blow? Right there. He's literally trying to gaslight you and manipulate you. He's agreed that the battle pass existed. He's agreed that conversations take place. And he spoke nothing but facts about everything that I've said. But then he said that I blew my trust. How did I blow my trust if I didn't lie? Or are you trying to say that the other content creators that were saying that I was a liar publicly killed my fucking credibility?
You, Mac. However, in your video, which you made on me, thanks for the free promotion, by the way, you did something which I just thought was so incredibly foolish, and that's when I kind of decided, okay, sure, fine, I'll bite. I'll talk about you, since it's what you want so much. Now, in this video, you did exactly what I thought you...
That was a month ago, bro. Like, actually, that was over a month ago. Let's go to my channel real quick. Where's my channel? Where's EpicNNG's ugly fish? Wherever the fuck.
What's up, guys? Jay?
I hate my voice!
MorninAfterKill?
Stop it! What is this? October 14th. Yo, that's like 2 months ago. You took you 2 months. 2 months. 2 months to make this video.
You were going to do with your predictable mindset. You took shots at Redux, and fair enough. I mean, yeah, we only reached 0.003% of the community, or whatever you said. But you said something that was really, really funny about Redux. You said that I made Redux because I was too scared to actually get change in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, so I made the mod so that I wouldn't lose my paycheck. Ah.
I said that about Borderlands 3, actually. Nobody cares about Wonderlands, but same shit, same shit.
Oh, God. And yeah, I mean, that's really where I decided that you have lost your mind, brother. You have truly...
Are you going to deny that you were paid by Gearbox? Because, I mean, we can just go here, right? Watch this, watch this. EpicNNG Wonderlands pre-release. I might have to actually go... Oh, here it is. An honest early access review. And he disclosed it in his video. Watch.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to be giving you my first impressions and review of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. For those of you who are unaware, I was given the amazing opportunity by Gearbox and 2K to test out Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and play this kind of pre-made demo to give you guys my thoughts on it, also share some feedback, and hopefully make the game better before launch. At the time of recording this video, I've sunk around 15 to 16...
That was actually very poor disclosure. You've only disclosed it right here in the hashtag ad, hashtag sponsor. If you go to FTC regulations, you should probably say that you were fucking paid to fucking promote this game. But that's outside of what I'm saying. Are you going to deny that you were paid for Wonderlands?
Really lost your mind. Mac, I figured, since you obviously didn't do the research yourself, you'd want to know that since the launch of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, in just that year alone, I had made over 40 tweets criticizing the game, and I had made over 10 videos criticizing the game. And that doesn't include all of the separate feedback I personally sent off to Gearbox devs and representatives from 2K to push to Gearbox devs. This also does not include any...
Okay, let me explain this to you in a way that somebody that is highly regarded mentally. Let me explain this. When Cartman wanted an iPad and he didn't want the Toshiba Handy screen, and he asked for it in public, and he asked for it in private, and his mom wouldn't give it to him. What did he do? He made a scene publicly where he said, "Mom, Stop trying to fuck me. If you're gonna fuck me, at least put some lipstick on when you're going to fuck me. Alright? When you're out here fucking throwing fucking like sweet little cherry pot shots and playing grab ass with Gearbox devs, you're not going to get nothing done. I've seen no call to community action from anybody. I didn't see you try to mobilize your community or say, hey, guys, let's all fucking tweet Gearbox and say, fucking, where's True Vault Hunter mode in fucking Wonderlands and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I would personally have done this. But y'all motherfuckers, like I said earlier in this video, hung me out to dry and shot my credibility when y'all went around saying that I was lying. Y'all didn't have to not confirm anything in the fucking video. All you had to say was, yes, that conversation, it fucking took place. Max not lying. That's all you had to say. You didn't have to confirm anything. Just be like, that conversation took place. That's all you needed to say.
Any of the other feedback that other content creators also did. I was basically the poster child for the Clawbringer for a lot of time, and
I want to show you. This is how they give fucking. This is how they give you fucking. How they give criticism to Gearbox.
I will slap you. Slapping you silly because you disrespected me.
Bro, that's the type of criticism they give Gearbox. That doesn't get shit done. Did you see Dado the other day in the Bungie community actually calling their shit tone deaf and raising his voice and, you know, getting shit done? Sitting there and be like, well, you know, I really think that there should be a true Vault Hunter mode in Wonderlands. Is going to get anything done? It's not.
very, very openly criticized Gearbox's very poor handling of the class post-launch. One of the things I hear Max saying a lot is that content creators need to use their voice publicly for the greater good to actually get change done. They need to rally their communities against developers. And while I do think there is actually some merit in what Max is saying, he uses it like a war-waging hit piece against...
Yes, motherfucker! You don't understand! Your channel is a flaming sword in the gaming community! You can literally just wave that shit around and get shit done!
Creators to say that they don't speak up, and push that back down, that they don't talk to developers publicly through their channels to try and get change done. Specifically when talking about me, Mac, I believe you left out the video where I criticized the nerf apocalypse in Wonderlands, and
Oh, let's go and watch that. EpicNNG nerf apocalypse. I mean, you upload a lot of videos, man. It's hard to find every fucking video that you upload, you know?
All rain, because there is some sunshine in what I'm going to talk about. However, for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to be listing off the positive changes from today's Wonderlands hotfix. While there is some cool stuff in there, I want to specifically focus on the issue and the main subject of this video, and it is the pointless nerfs that would...
Alright, let's speed this up a bit.
Delivered to the Clawbringer and a bunch of legendary gear today. I think now for a little while since Wonderlands launch, a lot of players have been frustrated with the balance at endgame, but not because anything was too strong, and if they were concerned about those items, it was specifically referring to the Buffmeister spell and the liquid cooling pistol. And while things like...
Alright, let's bring that down a little bit.
The liquid cooling were actually addressed today with a nerf to it being actually quite warranted. A lot of other things got caught in the crossfire here, and I want to talk about these today because the subject of this video and the main point I'm trying to get across is that Gearbox, you need to stop nerfing things that do not need nerfing. Now, I will also say going forward that there could be reasons behind the scenes for these nerfs that we do not know of, such as prepping for DLC.
See, right here, you're already making excuses for Gearbox. You started out really good. You're like, you need to stop nerfing unnecessary shit. Fucking A. I agree with that. And he's like, well, but there could be a fucking DLC. Dude, no. No, man. No. We have already seen unnecessary nerfs in past games that have nothing to do with upcoming DLCs at all. It's just Gearbox and their never-ending crusade to try to balance Borderlands endgame when honestly everything should be fucking OP in the endgame. Like, not super OP, but like, you should be able to fuck shit up at endgame.
Pistol. And while things like the liquid cooling were actually addressed today with a nerf to it being actually quite warranted, a lot of other things got caught in the crossfire here, and I want to talk about these today because the subject of this video and the main point I'm trying to get across. First of all, the concentrated magic barrage spells had their damage scaling reduced by 4 scaling, and crit damage bonus were both hit, with the damage scaling being reduced by...
Bro, this is not a criticism video. This is you just running down the patch notes.
Up as you level up. However, you will see a decrease in damage at the as it was scaling up. It was dealing complaint which I have seen is that purples feel like had its damage nerfed in fear that players were using it too much and it was it does not do on other classes. And
so okay, I want to illustrate something, right? He wants to get fucking attention on his video about me. Bitter, desperate, alone, the tragic downfall of MorninAfterKill, right? That's sensational as fuck. That's a hell of a motherfucking title right there. Like that, like I'm proud of that. As an old school YouTuber, I'm proud of that, right? But this right here, like, dude, you're not gonna get anything done with something like this. Like, the nerf apocalypse has arrived, but why? And you're just running down the patch notes. You only gave one criticism. The nerfs are unnecessary. And then you ran it back by saying that it might be for a DLC again. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're not actually giving criticism. Gearbox has no reason to change anything in the game because you're not giving them any sort of backlash here.
Think you left out the video where I called for changes to Clawbringer, which... Oh, wait, they put them in the game. What I'm not gonna do in this video, though, man...
So wait a minute! You just illustrated my point! Again! Oh my god! So you called for changes in the Clawbringer, and they put them in the game. I need to hear this again.
Creators to say that they don't speak up and push that back down, that they don't talk to developers publicly through their channels to try and get change done. Specifically when talking about me, Mac, I believe you left out the video where I criticized the nerf apocalypse in Wonderlands, and I think you left out the video where I called for changes to Clawbringer, which... Oh, wait, they put them in the game. What I'm not going to do in this video, though, Mac, is obfuscate details like you've been doing.
You have been proving my point so far for the last 28 minutes. And it's only 9 minutes in.
To make myself look better. Because unlike you, Mac, I've got nothing to hide. So...
I don't obfuscate any fucking... I can't even say that goddamn word. I don't fucking hide any details because, motherfucker, I ain't got shit to hide.
For those of you who are unaware, just to be clear, I, EpicNNG, did receive sponsored posts during Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. That means I received something in the proverbial land of benefits given to content creators to post about the game. However, in Mac's head, he believes this means that I, and many other creators like myself, were unable to speak negatively about the game, despite there being endless videos, not just by myself, but other people and tweets.
No. You are mistaken what I'm saying in this video. Alright? I have said on many occasions that the criticism that y'all have lobbied towards fucking Gearbox has not been helpful. It's not the type of criticism that's been needed. Gearbox needs to have people speaking up for them to want to make big changes to the game. But I'm glad you're able to get work done on the Clawbringer. But here's the thing. Just because you didn't have the same the same fucking contract as some of the other motherfuckers that were on the stream team and shit, doesn't mean that they weren't getting paid monthly. And I'm pretty sure, I would love for you to show me the fucking contract you have that doesn't have a non-disparagement agreement in it. We already know that there's a non-disparagement agreement in it because Thick Filet has confirmed that there's a non-disparagement agreement in there.
Telling Gearbox that the way they were handling Wonderlands was poor. A lot of people took issue with the treatment of...
Telling Gearbox they're doing a poor job is not what's needed. Telling Gearbox that their shit sucks fucking big sack is what's needed.
Wonderlands at launch. But...
So wait a minute. Alright.
Wonderlands was poor. A lot of people took issue with the treatment of Wonderlands...
Okay. So you're trying to tell me, EpicNNG, that you guys were able to lobby all sorts of negative criticism, and you did, blah, 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 yada, yada, bing, boom, right? Alright? But yet, here we are, years later, and the Borderlands franchise is in the worst shape that it's been in years. So it's obvious that the type of criticism that you've guys been lobbying towards Gearbox and the fucking emails and fucking backdoor fucking content fucking meetings that you're having with these people have been making such a fucking big difference. Why do we still have no true Vault Hunter mode in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands? Why can't we at least reset the playthrough and play through at max level in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands? Why did you have to go and mod Borderlands 3 and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and fix all of Gearbox's mistakes if all of this negative criticism that you guys have lobbied has done so much?
At launch. But this isn't Mac's focal point. His focal point is Borderlands 3, where he again claims that people, specifically Killer 6, were paid to not say anything bad about the game, and even claims that K6 is still paid to this very day, believe it or not, nearly 4 years after the game.
I did not say that he's still paid to this day. However, I do have proof that he was paid and under NDA for Wonderlands. That is true.
Came out, or actually I think we're past 4 years at this point.
As a matter of fact, he's about to start getting paid from Gearbox again with the content cycle of Borderlands 4.
To play it, he thinks K6 receives monthly paychecks to play Borderlands 3 to this day and not say anything bad about it. But this...
No, my point is that he was paid so long to say nice things about Borderlands 3 that he's dug himself so deep of a hole that he can't dig himself out of that hole, that he has to just stick with the public image that Borderlands 3 is a fantastic fucking game and better than Borderlands 2. When we all know that even though Borderlands 2 is far from a perfect game, it's still better than Borderlands 3 by miles.
This is where we move into the realm of defamatory statements. Mac also claims that K6 and Jolts never once disclosed their sponsorship or partnership with...
I did not say that. I said that they did not properly disclose their sponsorships, but continue.
With Gearbox and 2K, that they never once told people they were on the content creator or stream team for the...
Just like I pointed out earlier that your Tiny Tina Wonderlands video was improperly disclosed. Yes, you need to tell people in the beginning of the video. It has to be written and it has to be in words on the screen, and you have to say it. Trust me, I've been through this in the past.
For those of you that don't know, when Borderlands 3 first launched, a lot of high-end creators were given sponsored deals with Gearbox and 2K to stream Borderlands 3. Like kind of a sponsored integration, but more of a live stream. Mac claims that K6 specifically did not disclose this partnership. This is a lie.
See, that is false. What I said was that they did not properly disclose their fucking, their sponsorship. Because if their contract says in the non-disparagement agreement that they're not allowed to talk negatively or say anything, defamation. Well, you don't have to say defamation or slander because that's illegal anyway. But you're not allowed to say anything that could hurt Gearbox's public image publicly in a non-disparagement agreement. If that says Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, then you have to disclose it on all 3 platforms on every single piece of content that you're being paid. So if you're being paid $3,000 a month to stream once a week on fucking Twitch, but you're not allowed to talk shit on YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, then that right there has to be disclosed on all 3 platforms. If you ask anybody on K6's and Jolt's YouTube fucking platform, they still, to this day, don't think that any of them were fucking paid by Gearbox. But the ones that did find out, if you look, let's see. If it wasn't such a big shock to people, then why are Jolts not hitting 100,000 views in like a week since I dropped that video? Why is Killer 6's videos failing to hit 20,000 views these days? Huh? Why are their views dropping and mine are going up?
This is a defamatory statement. K6 numerous times informed his viewers very clearly that he was both on the Borderlands stream team and also in
Did you see that right there?
Informed his
But boom. Okay. Only one of these. Oh, that's not sponsored properly. You see how it has it at the end? Right? Watch this. FTC guidelines below the fold. Watch this. There you go. Right here. Disclosure 101 for social media influencers. When to disclose. When you have any financial, employment, personal, or family relationship with a brand. Alright? How to disclose. Place it so it's hard to miss. When you put it in, you're literally proving my point. When you put it at the end like that, you have to hover over the title on Twitch to see the hashtag sponsored. So majority of the people are not going to see the hashtag sponsored on there. But you also have to, in the video, disclose in the video and not just in the description. And you have to say in the live stream repeatedly so viewers know that you're paid. And you should have it on screen that it's a hashtag ad or sponsor. See? Use simple and clear language. Don't assume that a platform's disclosure tool is good enough, but consider it used in addition to what's good disclosure. You have to disclose any type of sponsorship or financial compensation that you take as a fucking content creator.
his viewers very clearly that he was both on...
See how it says sponsored by 2K all at the end? To be able to see that on Twitch, you would have to... You'd have to go and hover and see it all the way at the end. You are not allowed to hide it at the end of your... It has to be at the front. It has to be hashtag ad at the front. Don't fucking tell me, man. So, here's the funny thing. Is this proves right here that he was paid once a week for his silence all month long. Look, here's all of his sponsored streams. Once a week. But he didn't disclose anything on any of the other streams. You can't be paid once a month, once a week, for your silence all months long. That is illegal. This is exactly what Machinima and Xbox got in trouble for during the release of the Xbox. This is how I know all this, because I was a Machinima director during the time that Warner Brothers got sued by the FTC for misrepresenting the fucking Xbox ad campaign.
The Borderlands stream team, and also included sponsored in any of the stream titles where it was applicable. Believe it or not, Mac, but because somebody is part of a stream team where they occasionally receive sponsored deals, they don't need to put the sponsor tag in every single stream title or every single tweet where they praise a game.
Actually, like, if you really want to
Occasionally
say,
receive sponsored deals, they don't. The Borderlands stream.
that should have been hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored right there. Yes, you do have to disclose it every time that you're making a fucking a public announcement for that sponsorship.
Stream team, and also included sponsored in any of the stream titles where it was applicable. Believe it or not, Mac, but because somebody is part of a stream team where they occasionally receive sponsored deals, they don't need to put the sponsor tag in every single stream title or every single tweet where they praise a game. Aside from that, Mac also claims that K6 in particular not once said anything bad about Borderlands 3 and never tried to make the game better because he was too scared of losing his paycheck. This is yet again another lie disproven by K6's very own videos and tweets. Scared of losing his paycheck. This is yet again another lie disproven.
Top 10 requested changes for Borderlands 3. Bro, these are not community calls to action, and these are not going after Gearbox. I don't see Gearbox tagged once in these. Like, the whole point of doing these vidges is to mobilize your community. These are all just fucking vidges for fucking search results and clicks. What is this? This is Borderlands 3 Boss Rush. How is anybody gonna know that he's complaining about Gearbox in this video?
6's very own.
Top 5 most needed fixes. I mean, that's not a bad vision right there. I must have missed that. I apologize for missing 1 out of fucking 5 fucking years. But I still don't see no Gearbox fucking being tagged. I don't see this being sent to Gearbox on fucking social media. I don't see him saying, hey guys, let's all go on social media and try to get these changes done.
Own videos and tweets where
Take down changes. These are not criticism vidges. These are the first 3 vidges were just maybe the top 5 I'll give you. But the first 3 were just random fucking commentaries.
Spoken up about the issues in Borderlands 3. Most of you might actually remember that it was K6 who brought up the issue of there being really bad rare spawns and no dedicated drops in Borderlands 3. He numerous times spoke up about this issue until it was fixed. But don't just...
But I don't see Gearbox being tagged here. How is Gearbox gonna know about this if you don't tweet it to them? You see what I'm saying?
Who brought up the issue of there being really bad...
Once again, he's just hiding his criticism from Gearbox. All he had to do was at the end type at Gearbox.
Rare spawns and no dedicated drops in Borderlands 3.
Magic.
He numerous times spoke up about this issue until it was fixed. But don't just take my word for it, because there are even Gearbox employees and former 2K employees who have spoken out and literally vowed.
Let's see what the Gearbox community says.
But don't just take my word for it, because there are even Gearbox employees.
This man made me laugh because K6 is most definitely not a shill. He just plainly says when he does or doesn't like something, especially when it pertains to this game. People just... Bro, so Gearbox saying that he's not a shill proves that he's not a shill.
Boys and former 2K employees who have...
You wrote pages and sent links to your video feedback to everyone you could. Why didn't you mobilize your community? Because you couldn't publicly do that! Because you couldn't publicly do that because you were under fucking contract. And I have shown you multiple times in the past where the community has mobilized and come together to get change done.
Have spoken out
He's
and literally
He's literally just proven everything I said.
vouched for the work case.
Let me see what that said. I missed that one.
There are even Gearbox employees and former 2K employees who have spoken out.
You see how this guy says send them my way instead, right? Do you know how different it would have been if fucking K6 sent 500,000 people his way? I bet you life would have been a lot different for this motherfucker if he had 500,000 people coming his way.
And literally vouched for the work K6 puts in behind the scenes. Mac also
So you want me to take Gearbox's word that he's not a shill? Like that's the dumbest shit in the world.
claims that during Wonderland's case,
The mafia says that they're a fucking legitimate organization. Take their word for it.
6 did the same thing, not speaking out about the issues in the game because he was too scared of losing out on his.
I mean, but does anybody agree that any of the Wonderlands DLC was good?
His paycheck. This is yet again another lie that has been twisted to make K6 look bad. There are numerous.
Once again, Wonderlands, what went wrong? Watch this. What went wrong?
Wrong with Wonder.
Let's see. Oh, this wasn't this year. That was actually last year. Let's see what he says.
Lands. I know a lot of you guys want to immediately just go right down there and start typing your answers, but hear me out first. Wonderlands is a great game, one of the best in the.
How are you gonna get anything done when in the first fucking 10 seconds
Borderlands franchise at launch? But, and this is a Kim Kardashian sign.
it was one of the best Borderlands games?
Go right down there and start typing your answers, but hear me out first. Wonderlands is a great game, one of the best in the Borderlands franchise at launch. But, and this is a Kim Kardashian-sized but here, Wonderlands is also very disappointing. So why? What went wrong in just over a month of time with the game? Let's start with the obvious culprits. Early on, prior to the first patch for the game, we had a huge pistol nerf and 2 nerfs for the claw.
This isn't criticism. This is news. This is news. He's just giving you a news rundown.
Numerous videos and tweets from K6 where he very openly criticizes Wonderlands.
Once again, you're not gonna get anything
There are
done
numerous videos
with
and
this
tweets
video.
from K6.
So I tried to reach Chaos 100 in Wonderlands. Like, that's just your fucking stream highlights. That's not a fucking criticism video, bro. Like,
K6 where he very openly criticizes Wonderlands. And just because I know that what you're gonna say, Mac, is
Yeah, but he didn't say that he was paid to be a part of the stream team.
my brother, he does not have to. So long as he is disclosing that he is sponsored for the posts in question or the streams in question, which he did, or any form of other material connection to the brand.
Holy shit.
yo, Fluid, thank you. That is actually all sorts of wrong. Once again, going back to FTC disclosure for social media and influencers, It is your responsibility to make these disclosures, that you have to let them know that you have any kind of financial, employment, personal, or family relationship with a brand. This is literally content creator 101.
And in this case 2K, he is complying with FTC guidelines. He does not need to go into the specifics of his contract, which, by the way, most likely would have been NDA'd. You may feel that you are entitled to know how many millions of dollars you think he was getting paid in
$3,000 a month, actually. I already know.
his contract, but he does not need to tell his viewers that. That is
No, he does not need to tell his viewers how much he's being paid by Gearbox, but he does need to tell them that he's being paid by Gearbox not only at the beginning of the stream, but periodically during the stream. It has to be at the front of your title and mentioned in video, fucking word format, written in your stream. Hashtag sponsored, hashtag ad.
between him and whoever he signed that contract with. It is not information for him to make public, because that could very well be a breach of his contract.
No. I get that. I understand that. Me trying to go Dick-fil-A into releasing his contract is just because Dick-fil-A has already gone on record saying that he doesn't think he'll ever be working with Gearbox or 2K again. So if he's willing to burn his bridges and talk about the non-disparagement agreement within his contract, then why not go to the full money and fucking show the whole contract?
Fact. Now, I'm sure, Mac, you're going to dance around what I'm saying about K6 and that you actually meant that he didn't disclose he was part of the stream team specifically on his streams, because you seem to be some kind of expert on FTC regulations and wanting to have K6 sent to jail for a small mistake.
I don't want K6 sent to jail. Have I ever said that I was going to bring the authorities into this? No. I just want people to understand the type of people that they're dealing with.
That he may be made in your head. It's all incredibly...
I don't even give a fuck about K6 taking a fucking... I don't even want him to be fined. I don't care about that. I just want people to understand that these opinions during Borderlands 3 were bought and paid for.
Hilarious, because you yourself have admitted to not disclosing sponsorships in the past. And yet, K6 has shown you...
Let's see, what does it say?
Admitted to not disclose...
Yes, and that's why I said, if you guys remember earlier in this video, I said I had to deal with that in the past. I've already had to deal with this shit. That's why I already know all these fucking laws, rules, and regulations. Trust me, I have already had to deal with the FTC in the past by accident, because I didn't know the regulations.
Closing sponsorships in the past. And yet, K6 has shown you some kindness, despite everything you're trying to put him through, by not trying to prosecute you and target you with 40 videos, because he just doesn't think it's worth it. And yet you consistently try to latch on to try and bring him down simply because you feel you were wronged because he wouldn't break an NDA to confirm your leaks of a battle pass.
But I just think this shit's funny, actually, now. Now I'm just having fun.
It's all incredibly silly. Now, one thing I am going to address, because
It is silly, but that's why it's fun.
I know Mac is eventually going to bring it up, is that back in 2014 or around that time, he signed a contract with 2K, or...
I did not sign a contract with 2K. I was offered a contract by 2K back in 2014.
At least was presented with a contract by 2K, which said that he should not play competitors' games, and that he would also get over $3,000 a month or something like that to
It was $3,000 a month to head up the stream team, not play Destiny or cover Destiny, and fucking not talk shit about Gearbox. That's correct.
consistently play Borderlands. Brother, let me tell you right now, if I was presented with that contract, I would have taken it in a heartbeat, and you would be insane not to.
There was no reason for anybody to need to take these type of contracts. K6 and Jolts at the time when they were taking it, making $20,000 a month. You don't need $3,000 a month when you already make 20,000. At the time, during 2014, I think I was making something like, because of GTA as well, I was making like something like fucking like somewhere around like $15,000-$20,000 a month. Why the fuck would I take a $3,000 a month paycheck to get rid of, to fucking sacrifice my integrity when I'm already making plenty of money in my life?
Hate to tell you the Tooth Fairy.
I mean, he really just admitted that he's greedy. Let's go ahead and see what Lazy Data's numbers are. Let's see what Lazy Data's numbers are. What's his channel? Is it? Oh wait, it's not Lazy Data. It's EpicNNG. I'm sorry. See, that's how important you are to me. You sound just like Lazy Data, so I figured you're lazy. Let's see his channel. Okay, yeah, you don't really make shit, so let's see. The highest you've ever gotten was 1 million views. Bro, why are you calling me a has-been when I get more views than you a month, bro? Like, what are you talking about? Your highest ever was 1 million views a month. Of course you would have took that paycheck, bitch. Hell yeah. You broke as shit, bro. Now I see why you take that check.
Isn't real, but content creation is a job, and if I was guaranteed $3,000 a month to play only...
How many views you got on your channel overall, bro?
Hey, what is going on?
Where's your fucking about me? You hide your overall views, don't you? What a fucking piece of shit you are.
Hey, what is going on?
You hide your stats like a little fucking pussy. Alright, let's check your social blade. How many fucking overall views you got? 18, 19 million views. You're calling me a has-been? Bro? You're calling me a has-been? Like, get the fuck out of here. Dude.
Only Borderlands, I would do it. However, sadly, your emails from 2014 don't hold up as well nearly 10 years later, where stuff like that just doesn't really happen that much anymore, unless you're someone like Asmongold. Although, of course, at that point, you would be getting a lot more than...
That's a lie. Plenty of content creators get paid for their fucking campaigns with sponsored fucking, with their developers.
$3,000. If 2K and Gearbox are running a PSYOP and getting creators to only play Borderlands and not other competitors, then Moxxsy is in real trouble for playing Diablo, Elden Ring, and more. And Jolt's streaming... Also, fucking... Moxxsy was too small at the time to be fucking part of the stream team at the time that I'm talking about. Moxxsy didn't join the stream team until... later, if I recall correctly, with the DLC Season 2, and was only sponsored for like a few months before he went off and did his own fucking thing. Like, Moxxsy's not even considered a Borderlands content creator anymore. He's a variety streamer. Alright? And fucking... Let's see what he has to say about Jolts. Binding of Isaac is probably going to get him shot in the back of the head by Agent 47. If it's confused...
No! Once again, did I say that that I wasn't allowed to play any other game? No, I was not allowed to play a competitor, looter, shooter, or cover it because it was a conflict of interest with the contract that they were offering. See? Do you see how they try to twist this shit?
To you as the viewer why Mac is bringing up old contracts from nearly 10 years ago.
I'm bringing up old contracts from 10 years ago to show you that they've had a fucking a pattern. They've had a fucking pattern of behavior over the years of Gearbox trying to buy fucking content creators all the way back to fucking with fucking Yo and then fucking me during the pre-sequel. So that's just showing pattern of behavior over the years.
It's because his actual argument in current day is so extremely weak that he feels the need to try and double down with irrelevant information to try and damn people and get others on his side. I do also think it's important to note that, again, Mac, you seem to think that I was shilling for Wonderlands just because I said in my early access review the game was great. Well, I hate to break it to you, but that review was filmed on a demo setup, which I disclose in the video, where we were only allowed access to Mount Craw and maybe got to...
Yes, I understand that. You and Goth both played the same fucking demo. And both of you had two very different fucking opinions of the early access.
Level 15 at most. So, yes, I would like to...
And it ended with the dude on the fucking goblin skateboard. Yes, I fucking know this. I understand this. I'm fucking well aware of this.
Echo what I said back then. Based off of my experience with that demo, it was great. But I really do want to just retouch on the topic of content creators are paid into silence by Gearbox and 2K, because it's a sentiment that I've seen Mac echoing a lot, and I've also seen people who are watching, sniffing paint, and believing his videos parroting around the community, to the point where Thick-Fillet even went out of his way to describe what a non-disparagement agreement was. And while there was...
But he was also wrong in which the type of non-disparagement agreement that he was fucking talking about, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
Some errors in his video, for the most part, he was correct. Now, just for the record...
So there were some errors in his video, but he was correct. In which I did a 3-part series correcting everything that he said and debunking everything that he said.
I don't like Thick-Fillet. This isn't a drama video, but I don't think the guy is a cool dude. I don't vibe with him. But that doesn't mean that what he said is simply invalidated. Like Thick-Fillet outlined in his video, yes, in numerous sponsored deals that creators tend to take on, there is typically something called a non-disparagement agreement. This is public knowledge. This is not a mystery. This isn't the Illuminati of the music.
I never said it was. I just said that because they're on these fucking sponsorships, there's a non-disparagement agreement. However, people that are not well-versed with contracts or fucking content creators, or, the business of content creatorship, don't understand that this is standard practice.
Music industry, it is pretty common knowledge that there is a non-disparagement agreement. Now, what does this mean? It means that you are very, very much encouraged to be honest and get your opinions out there with a game as much as you please. Go ham, go hog wild.
But you're not allowed to paint the developer in a bad light. And that's the problem. To be able to get anything done with Gearbox, you have to paint them in a bad light publicly. Thank you for proving my point once again.
Tell everybody that you do not appreciate the poop jokes in Borderlands 3. However, the moment you start slandering, defaming, and harassing employees from the organization who may be tied to the game you are covering, you enter that realm of the forbidden food, where you could have your contract if you have...
Slander and defamation do not have to be in a non-disparagement agreement because it's illegal to slander and defame. What's covered inside of there is you painting the fucking company in a negative light. So, yeah, don't fucking try to twist this once again. Like I said, you're talking about a general fucking non-disparagement agreement in an actual sponsorship. But if you look at, like, content creator non-disparagement agreements, we'll go right here. Let's look it up right again. At product non-disparagement agreement, which is at a basic level, a purpose of non-disparagement agreement is to protect the company's reputation. Right there. Boom. What is a non-disparagement clause? See, it is important to note that disparagement differs from defamation. Defamation typically applies only to false statements and requires some degree of ill intent, while disparagement is broader All right? Defamation is essentially don't make up bad things about us to hurt us, while disparagement is don't say bad things about us, even if they're true. Do you see the difference between an employee non-disparagement agreement and a product non-disparagement agreement when you're signing to fucking to show a product? But let's continue on. We're halfway through this video and I'm almost losing my voice.
Have a contract to begin with, I would assume you do if you're in a non-disparagement agreement, terminated. Because that is what they see as harmful behavior. That is basically what a non-disparagement agreement is. Now, I'm not a law expert. I'm sure I'm going to be dragged on this. I'm sure, Mac, when you're cooking up your 46th
I have already dragged you.
response video, you're going to be schooling me on what a non-disparagement agreement is. But for
Already did.
those of you watching, it's not that deep. It's basically what it is. Just don't shit talk the company. You can go out of your way and see you don't like a game, which if you followed me during Wonderlands, you know I've done my fair share of that.
That's dependent upon how fucking, how broad your non-disparagement agreement is. But like I said, without Thick Fillet willing to release his contract, which is funny because he talks details about his contract willingly and openly, but he's not willing to let fucking that contract fly because he knows that it's going to prove me right.
But yes, it basically means don't go around slandering the company. Don't go around trying to tank the reputation.
You don't have to put don't slander the company. Slander is illegal, so you don't have to put that in the contract.
Of the game simply because you don't like that your favorite gun does 1 damage. That is, in a nutshell, what a non-disparagement agreement is. Now, what is also public knowledge is that nowadays a lot of sponsored integrations, and this isn't just for games, it can be for promoting a TV show or a music festival or whatever it may be. In a lot of these contracts, there is an honesty clause. I'm sure that's not the correct term for it, but it basically just tells you not to lie. The reason this exists is because lying is bad. If you are promoting something and taking money for something and you are lying about it, you can land the company in a lot of hot water. So having an honesty clause in there prevents that from happening. It prevents me from going out and saying that Wonderlands is the best Borderlands experience of all time, and that if you do get it, guess what's going to happen? You get 5 new Xboxes if you complete the campaign.
Well, obviously, you're not going to go out there. See, do you see the extreme fucking cases that they're giving out here? Like, there's an honesty clause, which means I can't say that you're going to get 5 Xboxes if you buy the game. Yeah, no, but we've already looked at fucking K6's what went wrong
What is wrong with Wonderlands? I know a lot of you guys want to immediately just go right down there and start typing your answers, but hear me out first. Wonderlands is a great game, one of the best in the Borderlands franchise at launch.
But there's an honesty clause, guys. There's an honesty. Let's listen to that again.
Immediately just go right down there and start typing your answers, but hear me out first. Wonderlands is a great game, one of the best in the Borderlands franchise at launch, but, and this is a Kim Kardashian sized but here, Wonderlands is also very disappointing. So why? What went wrong in just over a month of time with the game?
All right. But then, right? Now the DLC is really good.
What's going on?
The DLC that everybody has said in the community is literally a scam that they charged you per minute. But there's an honesty clause here, right, guys? But people don't lie, guys. Trust me, people don't lie.
That right there is a very, very harmful statement to say if I'm doing a sponsored activation, because I could potentially land them in hot water if a higher up...
Yes, the honesty clause is there to protect the company. Not for you to be like, oh yeah, I could go around and fucking, shit on this fucking company. It's just to protect you from, protect them from fucking, in case if you went out there and said, oh, this game's not going to give you AIDS. And maybe you got AIDS from the game. You don't know.
From 2K sees that EpicNNG did a paid activation on the game and said that at the end of the game you get 5 Xboxes and this is all done through 2K's money scheme, and that right there is entering legal hot water that could get that company
None of this has anything to do with what I've talked about, but okay.
in trouble. It could get the person who gave EpicNNG that sponsored activation in trouble. So yes, in a lot of companies there tends to be honesty clauses. Now, let me make it clear, this is not direct confirmation of any company in question having these clauses, but what I'm saying is that in a lot...
These clauses exist, but this is not direct confirmation of these clauses existing. Jesus Christ, these people walk back everything they fucking say, man.
Of cases, these things...
How can you take anything he says for verbatim when he has contradicted himself like 9 times in the last, hour?
Exist to prevent issues happening that Mac has been directly accusing people of doing.
I am not directly accusing anybody of telling you that you're going to get an Xbox if you beat Wonderlands.
No, K6 is not paid into silence to go out there and say nothing but good things about Borderlands 3 to try and skyrocket sales. And no, EpicNNG did not make Wonderlands Redux to further inflate the sales of Wonderlands and...
No, you did not. You fixed it because Gearbox wouldn't fix the game themselves, so you had to go and fix the game for them.
Make this big corporate god complex grow a million times stronger. We are just simply enjoying or not enjoying games. Now, one of the other things I have heard Max saying a lot is, well, if you're going to take credit for getting Mayhem changed into Mayhem 2.0 in Borderlands 3 K6, then that means you're taking credit for ruining the game. Let me just explain this.
Well, yeah. All you had to do was ask them to put a thing to turn modifiers off on all levels. Why does Mayhem 11 have to be the only level to have no modifiers? Are you fucking regarded?
Also, in Wonderlands, I made a lot of videos and tweets where I criticized the game. And I'm going to tell you again why that is, much like I did back then, just to reiterate that this is all in the name of honesty. It is my belief that Wonderlands was a very good game that was ruined by Gearbox's lack of direction, or rather their out of touch vision for the game in the post-launch cycle. I believe that the PLCs should never have been called PLCs. I thought that was a silly thing to do. I thought they should have been called headhunters. And I also believe that a lot of the changes they made, including upping the chaos levels, is what contributed to the downfall of Wonderlands. Now, this did not stop me from, again, submitting ideas through videos and tweets for changes they could make to the game, including the Clawbringer, which I did, and those changes did make it into the game.
So, you're saying that if content creators speak up openly and candidly, they can make changes to the game. But, like I said, none of the videos you showed me, outside of the one top 5 changes Borderlands 3 needs, which... Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at that, right? Let's top 5 changes Borderlands 3 needs. Right here, okay. Top 5 most needed fixes.
What's going on, guys? Killer 6.
And this was when? January 31st, 2020. Okay, he actually made this in the right fucking time frame, but man, why didn't you do anything about this, bro? Why didn't you fucking tag Gearbox and fucking make a big stink on fucking YouTube about this shit? Like, let's see what needed to be changed. What was his most 5 needed things to be changed? Let's see.
What's going on, guys? Killer 6 back with another top raid bosses. The Malawan takedown is a blast, and I'm honestly looking forward to more takedown style content, but sometimes I just want to load into a zone, head over to a raid arena, and beat a raid boss's ass. Now, remember how much fun you can have in Borderlands 2 just by farming Hyperius, or Terramorphous, or Pyropeat? I know that the average player probably didn't solo
And we do not have raid bosses in Borderlands 3.
Shit.
That just happened.
I think they...
Yo, thank you for gifting a sub to EpicNNG.
I have a massive advantage since I can just copy a save file and make mules to hold additional gear. Meanwhile, my console friends, at number 3, new content, but sometimes I just want to load into a zone, head over to a raid, Purist or Terramorphous or Pyropeat. I know that the average player probably didn't solo those bosses, but it was awesome to have those challenges there, even for a multiplayer team to go get together. That would also give us a use for Iridium, since raids in Borderlands 2 required an Iridium entry fee. Additionally, I would also love to see a Headhunter style add-on that's like a Moxxsy's Underdome, but for raid bosses. You can bring back all the classics like Tromarax, Pyropeat, Hyperius, Vermivorous, and more. Just make them as like Digistructed versions to test Vault Hunter's potential. There's really no downside to such a thing, and I would imagine that reusing those assets would be moderately easy for Gearbox to do. This would be a lot of fun and give us even more content to play.
Number 3.
At number 3, new and improved storage systems could be huge for this game. There is so much to collect on each character that I'm overwhelmed trying to organize my inventory, and being on PC, I have a massive advantage since I can just copy a save file and make mules to hold additional gear. Meanwhile, my console friends unfortunately have to make a new character and get them all the way to Sanctuary just to have that additional storage outside of the shared bank. And speaking of the shared bank, while it's great that we can share 300 items between all of our characters, how about an additional safe in our rooms in Sanctuary that is just for that character? Assign it to your actual save
And we got none of this.
That the cutscenes are used to load in-game info and levels, but take the Rampager cutscene, for example, where we see something implemented at launch. I realize that they've also said that the cutscenes are used to load in-game info and levels, but in any of those cutscenes, nothing about the cutscene ever changes at all, and have the button say something like loading, please wait, and then once it's done. Also, when we move into true Vault Hunter mode, I would love to have the option to skip right to Sanctuary and skip that whole opening phase. Honestly,
That's not
it gives
there
you all of your normal
either.
mode progress level. That might not be doable, but I can dream.
Honorable mention.
For my honorable mention, Headhunter content that is permanent additions to the game. While the Bloody Harvest Halloween event was a nice free piece of content that arguably lasted a little too long and should have been optional, a way to combat that problem would have been to treat it like they did in Borderlands 2. Make it a Headhunter pack, keep it as a permanent part of the game, and give players the option to avoid it.
Bro, I said that a million years ago. Let's go.
Gearbox locking in the rare spawn enemies as a 100% spawn rate and keeping their drop.
And dedicated loot drops. Okay, so out of all that, one thing got implemented. One thing. Don't you think you could have tried a little bit harder than just uploading a video? That you could have tried a little bit harder?
However, Clawbringer still is not very good. Now, does that mean that I'm taking credit for Clawbringer not being very good? No. What that means is I submitted feedback, that feedback got into the game, but unfortunately, I don't own Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, pal. The devs still wanted to make the changes they had planned to the game, so regardless of what I wanted...
I don't own Borderlands 2 either, but we fucking mobilized the community to fix the loot midgets in 24 hours back in the day. What don't you understand? When you have a large fucking community of people, you are able to use this community as leverage against the fucking developers to get what you want done for the betterment of the game.
Done to the game, they still follow through, and what happened, happened. Just like K6 wanted to get the world drops fixed in Borderlands 3. They did, but unfortunately, Mayhem 2.0 still happened, it was still planned. This isn't a DIY AAA game project. You don't just get to flick the light switch off and cancel all of their plans that they've been funding for months just to keep everyone...
Really? Because they canceled the battle pass that they were bringing online, and they had to bundle it with the DLC. Really? Because Bungie also changed their whole monetization scheme into Eververse this week because of content creators. So your point's moot again.
Everyone grounded in reality here. Let's remember that any time they are working on any content for any game, people are working a job. Game development, at the end of the day, is a job. If you've got 50
and it's a business. And if a business has their customers banging on their door telling them that we like the old fucking recipe better, then they're going to go back to the old recipe.
Employees working on the PLC, however bad you might think it is for Wonderlands, if they spend 4 weeks on it, that means for 4 weeks, 50 people got paid an hourly wage to work on that. So you can't just say, oh, well, K6 doesn't like it, so let's just not release it. Because people...
that is like one of the most disingenuous things I've ever fucking heard. It's not about what you want. It's about being a representative for your community and echoing the sentiments of your community. You act like I'm just out here trying to fucking get things changed in Borderlands that I want. If that was the case, I would have went against the OP levels back in the day. I don't like the OP levels, but a lot of people do. So I didn't fucking raise no fucking hell about it. Why? Because my personal opinion does not represent or echo the community's sentiment. So I'm not going to fucking go on record to fight that.
People have been paid an hourly wage to get that content done. Now, of course, there are situations where plans can change and directions can change. Sometimes the studio leads...
See, every time I say something, he walks it right back. How can you take anything this guy says with anything more than a grain of salt?
...sees something and goes, that is a terrible idea, and
he's literally a professional fence sitter. This is like listening to a British boogie.
Scraps it. And in that situation, things happen. Things get left on the cutting room floor in game dev a lot. It happens, but not 100% of the time. So when K6 submits 200 feedback reports about something and only 49 of them get through, but the developers 67 get through, you end up with a jumbled, you could argue mess, you could argue masterpiece of the final product. You get a mix of that feedback with their original vision. This is how...
But once again, that feedback is being given behind the scenes. You're not leveraging your community into a public fucking backlash. We've seen this week that public backlash works.
We ended up with Borderlands 2 having god-awful scaling. This is how we ended up with Borderlands 3 having Mayhem 2.0 and infinite level cap increases. This is how we ended up with Wonderlands consistently nerfing the Clawbringer week after week after week. It is a continuous cycle of miscommunication and a difference in visions. And breaking news, it's not exclusive to Gearbox. I know that you really, really wish it was the case, Mac, because you would love to burn them to the ground, but unfortunately, that's how game dev works, pal.
I've been using Bungie as an example to show you that, yes, this is how game development works, but this is also how content creation works. Like, you act like I don't know how game development works. I've worked in the past with multiple developers. I've tested games in the past. I know how this shit works, and I also know how it works on the content creator end. Obviously, you don't, though, because you want to call me a fucking has-been and a wash-up, but, like, bro, your fucking channel's never been. Like, you got 19 million views on your fucking channel altogether. Get your fucking weight up, bro. Come on, man. Get your weight up before you start punching.
But we're not done yet. Let's keep moving on with this train cycle because, again, I think it's very important that we get everything out into the open so that everybody in the court of public opinion knows exactly what is going on and can make their own mind up without you leaving out key details, Mac. You also claim that, once again, all of us creators are being paid into silence for not covering the leaks around the Borderlands 4 and Wonderlands 2 news. Yes, there is a reason for that, and spoiler alert, it's not paycheck related. I'll go ahead and give you, first of all, the general reason before I break into more of a in-depth explanation. A lot of the creators that cover Borderlands have gotten to know the devs at Gearbox, and not just devs, but people around Gearbox, and these people pump a lot of hard work into the products they make. This isn't just Gearbox, by the way. I personally know many developers from many companies, including AAA studios, and
I speak to Gearbox developers on the regular too, bro. You're not the only one.
Put their blood, sweat, and tears into these projects. So us not talking about them isn't because we're risking our paychecks. It's because we have something that you clearly do not, Mac. Respect. I personally worked on Wonderlands Reader.
Bro, you're a fucking gaming journalist. journalist. You're a content creator. Your whole fucking brand is literally covering news and information on Borderlands. There is no such thing as disrespecting a fucking developer because you're talking about leaked information regarding a release coming up. Nobody's giving any details about anything. Nobody's doing anything about that. We're just trying to be like, oh, look, this is what's going on. That's news. That is what's called being a journalist.
Redux and Borderlands 3 Redux for over a year. These mods had a 1-year development cycle with a team of around 4 to 5 people respectively. Now, how would I feel if somebody who was going to be covering Redux went out of their way and leaked my entire project? It would be soul crushing, and it would probably change my opinion on them. But
well, that's the problem. You're a gaming journalist. Your job is to report the news, not be liked by the developer.
Luckily, I've never had that happen because anybody that I have given info to about what we're working on has had respect and hasn't leaked it. Now, the reason for this isn't because I had them on a payroll. It's because, like all of the Borderlands creators...
So his big damning evidence is, I have respect and you don't. I already told you I'm a fucking asshole. I already told you I don't give a fuck about these game developers. I give a fuck about the franchise of the game. I don't give a fuck about the people that make it. I don't give a fuck about Randy Pitchford. I don't give a fuck about any of these people. I give a fuck about the people that are putting their money down to pay for fucking half-ass products that you and your merry band of fucking shills are out there fucking heaping fucking goddamn fucking shit right on fucking people's faces.
Who refuse to talk about these leaks. It is about respect. I say this as someone who used to be very good friends with Satmaro. Mac, I'm sure you're familiar with him and his leaks. And for a very long time, I covered these leaks. Until I started working and learning about game development, and I realized that this stuff is really, really hard.
Yes, it is really, really hard. But that has nothing to do with covering the news. Saying Borderlands 3 or Borderlands 4 and Wonderlands 2 is in development doesn't hurt any game developers.
And leaking this stuff has very real consequences for the people it affects. And it does affect real people. So, no, the reason why everyone's not talking about these leaks isn't because they want to protect their paycheck. It's because they very much respect the people working on the Borderlands games, and they don't want to jeopardize that mutual respect. That
no, they don't want to jeopardize that page. He just said it right here.
For the people it affects, and it does affect real people. So no, the reason why everyone's not talking about these leaks isn't because they want to protect their paycheck. It's because they very much respect the people working on the Borderlands games, and they don't want to jeopardize that mutual respect that we've got between content creators and game developers.
It has nothing to do with that at all. It has everything to do with the fact that if you come out and say that, and you do it has nothing to do with respect, and has everything to do with the fact that if you do something that Gearbox and 2K don't like, they're not going to fuck with you again. Hence, you're risking that paycheck that's going to come around when Borderlands 4 and Wonderlands 2 hits. But let's just see if any of y'all motherfuckers have hashtag sponsored, hashtag ad on your fucking Borderlands 4 vidges next year.
By constantly leaking their stuff. Because if that happened, you'd be the same person, Mac, making a video saying that developers don't talk to the content creators anymore, they don't keep any of them.
That's funny because I talked to quite a few fucking developers from Gearbox behind the scenes. Why do you think I confirm my, how do you think I confirm my information before I go fucking public with it?
In the loop, they just keep them in the dark because they want to steal money from them. Well, yeah, that's what's going to happen if we keep burning bridges. If we keep sitting here and tearing down relationships and leaking their projects, they're not going to want to talk to us, and I think that's a very reasonable thing to do.
Do you really hear this? He's literally like just sucking Gearbox off at this point.
Once again, I will tell you guys right now, as someone who has been on both sides of the fence, that people like Killer 6, Jolts Dude, Moxxsy, they have done things for this franchise that you genuinely, and I don't mean this in a patronizing way, I really do mean this, you will never know the extent of what they have done for this franchise internally. Because,
bro, and you sit here and say that fucking, that like content creators don't have any fucking say or any power, and you're like, well, you don't know. Come on, man, you contradicted yourself at every fucking turn in this video.
Because legally they just can't say it because they have non-disclosure agreements, much like pretty much anybody working in gaming. Believe it or not, a content creator having direct access to give feedback to developers and publishers means they are part of game dev. They are working on making a game.
That is not correct. Not every single content creator that fucking works with a developer is under contract or under NDA. That's not correct at all.
Better. They are providing that feedback and they are building those blocks to make a game improve. That is what they are there to do for the most part. The other things they do are marketing, sponsored activations, where they stream the game.
No! Our job is to cover the game for our community. Not to be a fucking free marketing fucking campaign for Gearbox. Do you hear this shit? He's literally shilling in a video where he's saying he's not shilling.
Again, doesn't mean they can't criticize the game, as we have already made abundantly clear.
Your job as a content creator is not to be the marketing end of fucking Gearbox's shtick. It's not at all.
The Borderlands community has had no problem doing that, myself, Killer 6, Jolts, Moxxsy and others included. However, unfortunately, because Mac is on his continuous warpath to burn down everybody who wouldn't back him up when he decided to go rogue and leak internal documents from a confidential meeting, it seems
that meeting was not confidential. Motherfucker, there was 4 people in that meeting, alright? There is 4 people in that meeting. Only one of them was not under NDA. It was confidential for 3 people. It was not confidential for me.
It's as though anybody who's not constantly bashing the game and asking for the things that he wants specifically.
Not at all. Once again, like I said, I went on record back in the day to say I don't like the OP levels, but I didn't fight Gearbox about it because majority of the community at the time was having fun with it. It's your job to echo the sentiment of your community, not your own personal opinion.
Are paid shills, when in reality, a lot of people just don't care. Borderlands 4 is going to...
I mean, you say a lot of people don't care, but fucking K6 has failed to hit 20k on a video in a week, and Jolts hasn't hit 100k on a video in like a week or so. Like, let's see. Like, even Jolts uploaded a whole build video, and that shit didn't get 100k. See? So, obviously, people care, yo. People care because it's affecting their viewership. These are people that were not aware that these people were on Gearbox's fucking payroll. And then once they found out that they were paid, they felt betrayed. And they are, you know, contributing to less viewership than you would normally see on Killer 6's channel. But yeah, I guess nobody cares, right?
To release, whether you like it or not, Mac, and these content creators
Oh no, Borderlands 4 is going to release next year, September 2024.
are going to get sponsored deals. Whether
They 100% are going to get sponsored deals.
you like it or not, there might
I do not like it. However, you're not going to like the fact that you're not going to be a part of the Borderlands community come that time. By that time, we are going to be building a content creator community outside of your little jolts, fucking K6 and EpicNNG, right? Because I don't really consider Moxxsy part of our community anymore. He's gone off to bigger and better things, yo. Like, he'll come back for Borderlands 4, fucking make some money off of it like everybody else does, and then fucking move on to the next big fucking game like every other fucking variety streamer.
be a stream team, whether you like it or not, and people might get paid to be a part of it, whether you like it or not. These people might not criticize the game as much as you would like them to, and some
Because they're on the payroll!
of them might criticize the game too much for your liking or other people's liking, but they're gonna do that on their own judgment, not because they're paid to do that, not
Why would you show me saying I'm 150 pounds down? Like, what's that have to do with the video?
because they're paid into silence, not because they're paid to be a poster child for the series, but because they are literally just content creators who have been given an opportunity to have a closer relationship with the same publishers that you blew your chances with. It really is sad
Bro, I balled their fucking contract up and threw it at them.
that instead of just accepting that you made a mistake, apologizing, moving on,
I don't want to be paid by Gearbox. I want people to be honest.
and building yourself to be better, you've gone down this sad path of just constant
Being better? Bitch, I've always been a troll. You just don't know it.
gaslighting, reaching, lying, and avoiding
I still haven't seen any proof. I have shown screenshots, proof, and evidence of all of this. And all he says is, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
the truth to smear people's reputations. You even used a picture of a shooter in a K6 video.
That's funny as shit. That's funny as shit, bro. I found a dude that was in fucking that was in jail that looked just like Killer 6, bro.
Because you wanted to make it personal. And as predictable as you are, you'll probably try to do the same with me. You'll make 60 videos on me, you'll try to dig into my past videos, and you'll try to obfuscate details.
Making videos on you isn't worth it, bro. I put up this, what is it, like an hour and 42 long fucking React video? Jesus Christ, bro. How am I gonna fucking upload a 2-hour React?
And you'll try to make me look like a paid shill, and you'll try to make it look like I'm the
You've already made yourself look like a paid shill. You tried to say, oh, these people weren't fucking paid, but yet they were paid, but they disclosed it. Like, every time you walked back everything.
bad guy, because no matter what happens, it's always about playing the victim card with you, instead of just taking
When have I ever played the victim here, motherfucker? I am a boot through your front fucking door. How is that me being a victim?
accountability for what you did and moving on like an adult would do. You're in your 30s and yet you still
No, I'm actually 40.
lack the comprehension needed to make adult choices. And part of me
I'm making YouTube videos on the internet. I don't give a fuck about adult choices on the internet about a video game, you fucking cum dumpster.
thinks you would have done that. I think you actually would have moved on. But K6
I did move on. And I waited for years. And I collected screenshots and receipts over those years because when people think they're being watched, they move differently. So when I left the community, everybody was allowed to shill as much as they want, and this is the result. I have all of this evidence showing you guys, and all you have is respect Gearbox.
Refused to let you run your mouth and told you to stop talking about him, and I think that was all you needed from that point.
Yo, K6 knows where I live. If he wants me to stop running my mouth, he can come and fucking tell me to stop running my mouth to my motherfucking face.
Onwards to start your tirade of being the freedom fighter for the community, when in actuality the people that are following you and the people that you think are listening to you are only doing so because they've been rejected by people who didn't want to listen to their idiocy beforehand. In fact, I'm sure in response to my video,
but I've always called my channel the Island of Misfit Toys. Put a 1 in the chat if you know that I've always said that my channel is for the place where nobody else fits in.
you're probably going to dig up creators that I've beefed with in the past to try and make me look bad. They'll probably bring out their ghost stories and tell them that I beat them into submission and made them scared for 4 years. Or you might just go rogue and make 40 videos on me because your rent's due. But it's never going to change the
I own my house, motherfucker. Borderlands 2 paid for it.
reality of the situation, and that is Borderlands 4 is going to release. Creators are going to continue on as normal. You're going to kick and scream and try to virtue signal to get people on your side.
Well, guess what? Guess what? Come time Borderlands 4 in about 9 months, right? We'll revisit this video. And when you'll see that my community is alive and thriving and we're fucking getting shit done inside of fucking Borderlands 4, then fucking then you can eat crow. But come Borderlands 4, if my channel's still fucking getting 2,000-3,000 views per fucking video, then I'll be the one eating fucking crow. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. I know how to work search engines. I know how to optimize my channel for the fucking release. And I will be in every single one of your search results, Jolt's Dude search results, and K6 search results, and Moxxsy search results with these fucking videos that I've been uploading for you guys. So this will not be the last that you hear from me. Please believe that.